Fitness enthusiasts from all over the world. Welcome to another episode of Off the Stage from your favorite host, the Men's Physique Show. Starting with our first host, hailing out of Melbourne, Australia. Our boy, the Australian voice of Men's Physique. You know him as Avon. Let's go. And the originator, none greater, the one who has taken this division and put it on the map. Our boy, the heartbeat of Men's Physique, Mick Gravy, Hart McGrath. Let's go.
Let's go.
And your boy, the IBB Pro, Masters, the Gaffer, Aleem Bolton. Let's go.
Let's go, Gaffer.
Come on.
How you boys doing? We have an incredible show today. How you boys
Phenomenal.
feeling?
Phenomenal.
Can you believe the end of January is here? How crazy is that? It
crazy.
has gone so quickly. It felt like yesterday was New Year's Eve, and now Valentine's Day is around the corner. So, yeah, I don't know where the time's gone, but I feel good. How do you feel?
I feel incredible. Not as good as Aleem, the Gaffa, the Horde. Everyone watching this video, I want you to know Aleem sucks ass because he's down in Cabo living it up, just went whale watching, and we're stuck here in the cold where we are. I mean, Phil, I think it's hot where you are.
Bro, it's beautiful. It's 80 degrees outside. It's sunny. There's like 5 pools downstairs. One's heated. Just went whale watching. I mean, I don't mean to brag about it, but I'm so glad about it.
No, it's awesome. No, it's
crazy.
beautiful.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful. I do want to point out before we get into this thing, which I'll lock in right now so we can get to the content. I know the viewers have been wanting us to just get into this awesome news of the division 5 weeks out of the Arnold Classic. Here's the roster, but right before we do that, I just want to say we're 300-ish something away from 12,000 subscribers. I feel like we just talked about 10K, and here we are going to 12K. So shout out to the Horde.
Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely crazy. I can't believe how quickly those numbers keep flying up. I mean, yeah, the division just keeps getting better and better, bigger and bigger, and without the support of the Horde, none of this would be possible. The Men's Physique Show wouldn't be possible. So while we're talking about it, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure to do so. Tap the bell icon so you're notified of every episode that we drop. Also, follow us on Spotify. Take a screenshot of your Spotify, your YouTube, put it on your Instagram pages. Tag the Men's Physique Show official, Philip Nassali, Hart McGrath, and Aleem Bolton, and we'll share it onto our socials as well. Hart, let's kick off this show, man.
Boys, check this out. Arnold Classic 2026 roster. It's a beauty to look at. Vitor Chavez, Emmanuel Hunter, Benquil, Tron Kwong, Oliveira da Costa, who is competing. He is 5 weeks out. Brandon Hendrickson, your only Mr. O that will be at the show. We have Paul Gustav, Alessandro Cavagnola, Andre Dayu, who's been a little more quiet than normal. Dayu, come on now. And then we have Espindola, who also has been very quiet. Edvon Palmera, as we know, has dropped out of the race. And we have Burak. So that's your class of 2026. We're officially 5 weeks out. The GAFA, what do you think of this roster? Is this one of the best rosters we've had?
I think this is probably the best Arnold Classic roster that we've seen to date for Men's Physique, in my humble opinion. I think that the athletes not only have evolved physically, so when you're looking at them, they're like this, the beauty and the graininess and the detail and the size and everything has just come up, but the posing has come up, the professionalism has come up, the tights have come up, like, you know, our board shorts, everything is just coming together. And the production is supposed to be second to none. So really excited to see what the Arnold Classic brings. And, you know, most of these guys we've either interviewed and we're dropping interviews constantly with the contestants for the Arnold Classic. Can't wait for all of those to drop. And we're just totally stoked over here. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see this. What do you think, Phil? What do you reckon?
You literally hit the nail on the head. The quality, the standard, the athletes, the production. We can't forget the prize money has also gone up too. I think the Arnold have announced that they're they're giving away $1 million or over $1 million across the two shows. So, which is incredible to see as well. It just shows that the popularity of the sport is increasing as time goes on. Maybe the guys up top are starting to hear the voices from the athletes and the supporters and the fans to say, hey, these guys work their ass off. Let's give them some extra prize money. And it's really, really good to see. So yeah, I'm super hyped for it. I'm super excited. We're only 5 weeks away and the time's going to absolutely fly around. And before we know it, Those guys are going to be on the stage. The 10's going to be on. The lights are going to be on. And it's showtime.
Love it, boys. Well, let's get into some updates 5 weeks out. We're going to start with the biggest news of the week. Coming up first, we'll dig into his story a little bit. This is a gentleman that we just interviewed, and oh my gosh, wait till the horde. Wait till you boys see this one. This one's, I feel like every interview we do, like, oh my gosh, that was the best one. Then we do another one. It's like, oh my gosh, that was the best one. It just gets getting better and better for different reasons too, which is super cool. But let's talk about this. Avomp, I'm going to throw it over to you first, but I just kind of want to talk about this for a second before I throw it to you. We just interviewed Brandon Hendrickson, Horde, and we just got told by Brandon that his coach, Neil Yoda Hill, who is in the comments always supporting Brandon Hendrickson, has told Brandon, and he does not tell Brandon this very often, it's very rare, that Brandon has never looked better out of a show 5 weeks. And I'm looking at the latest physique update only 8 hours ago, brought to you by the Men's Physique Show. Avomp, what are your initial thoughts? Talk about it how you want. Give it some flavor.
Yeah. What he also said was he gets scared if Neil Yoda Hill sends him a voice note that's longer than 30 seconds to a minute. So, and he hasn't received anything less than that. So, he's only received voice notes less than 30 seconds. So that's always good news for Brandon Hendrickson, and for good reason as well. Like, this guy is absolute class, and we can see exactly why this guy is the favorite going into the show. He is one of the most consistent athletes that we've ever seen. He's showing up on his stories every single day. The guy is on rinse and repeat every single moment of the day. And I almost feel like that's what you need to do. That's how you need to be one of the best athletes in the world. And his physique shows it. Like, the guy, his abs are etched out. He's got great shape, great flow, great structure. And this guy's going to be lethal in a couple weeks' time. That's for sure.
When I see Brandon, and after speaking with him, it just all comes together. You look at the physique, and then you hear where his mindset is at, and it just makes sense. If you have the mindset that he has, the consistency, the day in and day out, and the positive attitude that he exudes also, despite all the hoopla that goes on with social media and people trying to take jabs at him, so forth and so on, and you look at how laser focused he is right now, and he's going to talk about that on this interview. You guys will hear this. But wow, the gems that he dropped and just where his mind is at, no doubt that his physique looks like this. And apparently, this is as small as his waist is going to be. So his waist was already small. 5 weeks from now, the expectation from, that he has and Neil Yoda has is that his waist will be even smaller, and we will see the smallest it's ever been, still with the wide clavicle, the pronounced shoulder, cap shoulders and everything. So his ratios are going to look crazy, cartoonish. He already looks like he should be an action figure right out of G.I. Joe or so. So I'm so excited to see what Brandon brings to the table in the next 5 weeks. Incredible athlete, incredible mindset, and super honorable guy, super humble. People don't understand who Brandon is, but they will after this interview. I love it.
I love it too. He uploaded these a few hours ago, and people can pick apart Brandon as much as they want, but out of anyone on that Arnold Classic stage, there is no one more complete from head to toe than Brandon. There's no one more polished head to toe than Brandon Hendrickson. And when you look at him, my eyes are drawn to the abs, my eyes are drawn to the shape, and my eyes are drawn to the muscle. I mean, these are just check-ins in his bedroom, in his living room, and he looks like this. How can you not have Brandon? And no disrespect to any one of the other athletes, but how can you not have this guy taking the title again and reinforcing this argument with the interview we just did, with the mindset mentality that he just gave us, with Neil Yoda Hill? I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, there's boxes that you check, and if you look at his scorecard, they're all checked. Everything is checked minus the back, which is coming up, so it's got like a half a check right now. It's almost a full check. Can you say that there's certain comparisons and certain poses that someone else might be able to take him in? You could say that, but the complete look, the flow, the panning that he does, that panning that he does side to side when he's posing.
That was all you, Aleem. That was such a good eyeball on that mannequin back toe. I feel like that's like that. You coined that, brother. That is awesome,
bro. When people are going to start doing that, but I mean, we spoke about this before. His Hendrickson squeeze is probably second to the Ventura transition. So this transition into back pose is probably the second most popular and most done transition into a pose, right? Ventura is number one. Everyone pretty much does that Ventura pose, some iteration of it. And then you look at Brandon with this Hendrickson squeeze. How many people do this? Pros, the top, you've got out of the top 10 guys, like 4 of them do it. That's not even including your amateurs. That's not even including, the top 15, the top 30, incredible. So just a juggernaut, just a legend, a walking legend in our industry. And man, I can't wait for Vitor to hear how he answered that question, because Vitor had a question for him and we asked Brandon. When did you guys hear about it?
Also, I also wanted to comment on how good he looks. A lot of the time, 5 weeks out from a show, people are starting to drag ass. They're getting tired, lethargic, especially when you get to body fat levels as low as what Brandon is right now. Brandon doesn't seem like he's been affected at all. Like when we talk to him, like he's still got life in him, so to speak. Like just his energy is still really high. His motivation is still high. It's not like he's getting to the end of the road and he's starting to really struggle with the diet and the cardio and all that sort of stuff. I don't even know if Brandon's doing any cardio, because we've seen, he's always uploading stuff on his socials. I don't think I've seen a post of him actually on a Stairmaster or on a bike. Or Aleem, have you seen anything like that? Is he doing any
Today
cardio
was
at the
actually
moment?
the first time. Yeah, today was the first time he had a something on his story. As a first time in a while I saw him actually doing cardio, which was crazy. And couple that with the fact that he also is an online coach. So he's getting prepared and taking care of himself. He's laser focused. He's got Cooper, his dog, that he's taking care of. And then he's also an online coach to throw in there.
So
did you know that?
Hart brought it up. It up. I knew he was doing like posing coaching, which I don't blame him for doing. There you go, world's #1 fitness coach. Is he on Physique? Do you guys know if he's on Physique? I don't know. If not, I think he might want to jump on Physique. But while we're there talking about Physique, guys, if you're in the market for a coach, if you need someone to help you out with posing, training, nutrition, monitor your blood work, that is so important. We see, a lot of people are going down the enhanced route, but they just don't know how to monitor their blood work. Physique is where you can now bridge the gap from where you are and where you want to be with some of the best in the world. I'm also on Physique, so if you did want me to help out with your posing and all that sort of stuff, feel free to reach out to me on Physique, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Physique.
Brandon would kill it on Physique.
He would crush it. He would crush
through his stories. You guys interrupt me if you have anything else to say about B. I love the messages he's getting. It's all you, man. You keep believing in your ability, in your execution. It all starts with the vision, Brandon says. Believing in your vision. He says, F what anybody else thinks. My guy's locked in, 5 weeks out. Aleem, go ahead.
No, I just love it, bro. I just love that he's got this relentless warrior mentality. And Brandon proved last year that he is not scared of the smoke at all. In fact, he runs into the smoke, firefighter style. The dude did the China Pro, he did the New York Pro, he did the Miami Pro, Pittsburgh, the Olympia. Like, pardon, if I'm looking for someone who says, anytime, anywhere,
that's B.
I'm seeing B. Yeah, B.
That's
Henny,
B.
so.
Phil, what you think of this?
Yeah, I was going to say that pretty much just summed up what I was just saying, because I was going to say I haven't seen him do any cardio at all. It makes sense. And this guy's like he's striking distance now. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got a bit more to lose and get that conditioning up a little bit, get it a little bit better. But this guy's losing weight too fast. He's getting in shape too fast. If he keeps going down the route that he's going, he might peak way too early. So Heel Yoda Heel obviously has him got some higher carbs in there, a bit more rice in that meal to kind of slow down that rate of loss and to hold him until the end. He's doing both shows, right? He's doing both the UK and the American Arnold. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So even so, if he's get in shape too fast. He's got to then hold on for another 4 weeks, 3 weeks for that UK show. So yeah, the metabolism is absolutely firing. Brandon is in really, really good shape at the moment. And yeah, let's see what he looks like in next week's check-in. I'm sure he's going to drop one. He's dropping them every single week. So we need the rest of the guys to be doing the same thing. We want some more excitement. We want some more people to talk about. So any other athlete that's doing the Arnold, get those progress shots up.
For real. 100%. Let's move on, boys. We got more big news. Another hitter. Boys, I'm telling you, I've seen crazier stuff happen in men's physique than saying Benquil is going to win the Arnold Classic. I do have Brandon winning, obviously, but I've seen crazier shit happen than saying Benquil is going to win. Another guy that I believe, and very few guys I can say this about, but another guy that has that locked in everyday mentality is Benquil. And we talked about him a few days ago. He's another guy dropping a lot of updates. The GAFA, I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you think? This was posted 2 days ago. A really raw and honest physique update and some pretty good lighting, I'd say. But the physique doesn't lie. Give me your take. 5 weeks out.
I appreciate that he has been working on that chest. That chest, if you look at 2 weeks ago when he had his updates, his chest didn't look that full. Like, you could just go to that one right there. Like, you see that top shelf, you see how it's not as pronounced. Bottom looks good, the side looks good, but that whole, like, from the middle pectoral all the way up is lacking a little bit there. You go to his updates right now, I'm like, dag, bro, like, what do you put in that? I mean, like, hard work is what he put in there. Good food, great meals, eating clean, his new supplement, I'm sure. Like, those are the things that he's doing, and he's got striations. Like, look at the obliques. Benquil continues to impress me because he has brought up his back so much. He's given the chest the same amount of attention, it looks like. And, he lacked in certain areas previous Olympias. His abs were good. His obliques were good, but they weren't as dialed in and etched. He had a good back, but now he has one of the best backs, coming up to be one of the best backs for sure. Chest, was always kind of like that Achilles heel, and the legs weren't as pronounced. He brought his legs up a lot. His chest looks good. The guy is giving himself an honest depiction when he looks himself in the mirror and saying, this is what I need to change. This is what I need to do. This is what the judges say. This is what the Men's Physique show was saying. Let me dial in and work on these things. And instead of leading with ego with his workouts and leading with pride and saying, I'm not going to listen to them, he's leaning into it and saying, no, let me develop these things because it's only going to make me better. This is constructive criticism. It's not negative criticism. No one's coming at me. Let me work on these things, grow, be a better Benquil that I can be, and start, taking these W's and start getting these wins. So happy for him, man. Again, another guy who is relentless on the coaching tip and relentless in the gym, relentless on his focus, going to the Arnold Classic. Benquil, I love you. What do you think, Phil? What's your vibes?
I'm going to put it out there. I think Benquil is the most conditioned athlete of the lot 5 weeks out. I don't think anyone comes close to him in terms of conditioning, especially when he hits that side shot. Like, you can just see the gills on that oblique in the oblique section. I don't know. I mean, he's putting in the work. And maybe to your point, Aleem, like, I know you said that his chest is a little bit fuller. Could this be the result of maybe a higher carb day? Because he is losing, he's losing body fat really, really quickly. And again, he's doing both shows as well. So he needs to obviously peak for the first show, the Arnold US, and then be able to hold on to that, that conditioning and just that drive for the next couple of weeks. But he looks good. And I've said it every single week. Like, he's getting better and better and better every single week. To your point, Hart, I know you said that crazier things have happened. I completely agree. Crazier things have happened in bodybuilding. Crazier things have happened, especially in the men's physique world as well. So this guy is putting it on show. He's showing up. He's showing up every single week. And he's showing the rest of the division, the rest of the roster, that he's not scared who he's up against. You can be a big name. You can be someone who's battling it out, side by side. Like, when I talk about that, I mean about the debates that are happening behind the scenes all over social media. He doesn't care who is on that stage. He is relentless. He is driven. He wants that chip, and he will do anything in his power to make that happen.
Hart, if Benquil winds up taking this Arnold Classic and, shocking the world, Muhammad Ali style, what do you think that does for his brand recognition and his new supplement company?
Well, first of all, he better take me to flipping dinner, because I feel like I was the only one telling people, he's going to win this thing. Brand recognition, what it does for a supplement company, for what it does for his brand. It's the biggest moment for Benquil ever in the men's physique world for him by far. He wins the Arnold Classic. It shocks the men's physique world. His brand, who Benquil is, explodes. He's already a household name. To me, Benquil's already a household name, but he does this, it changes everything. It changes everything, and I can only imagine what that does for his fan base, what that does for him inside his heart, and just the increase of belief that he's going to have. It's going to be crazy. And I'm telling you, don't count Benquil out, Phil. Don't count Benquil out, Aleem. You never know. This guy, again, mentality is nuts. Benquil, 5 weeks out. You guys want to add anything else to Benquil here?
I would say the only thing also is that Benquil, similar to Brandon, never scared of the smoke. Like, he's never, ever scared of the smoke. Anytime, anywhere you can get it. Name the stage, he will show up and he will show out. So I just love that type of spirit, competitive spirit from athletes. I don't care what sport you're in, but especially our sport and our divisions particularly, love that. Because, I mean, listen, if you're scared to compete against certain people...
No, I was going to piggyback on that, to be honest with you. I think he thrives on it more than anything. I think when there's not hate, but when there's debate, when there's comparison, when people are doubting him, I think Benquil thrives on that more than anything. And I know a lot of athletes are like that. It's almost like that dog mentality where it's like, I want to prove you wrong. I'm going to make you eat your words. And that's, by the looks of it, that's what he wants to do. He's hearing the conversation about him and E-Man. I mean, it's you can't avoid that. And I know that he's out there in the gym, doing his cardio, making sure that everyone that has doubted him up until this point are gonna, like I said, eat their words in 5 weeks' time. Was he rocking the Manifest shorts? Where was he rocking the Manifest shorts? Was that at the Olympia?
Is that Manifest?
That's Manifest right there. 2025 Manifest.
Is he?
Those are clean, bro. I'm sorry, but no one's touching Manifest.
Manifest is dope.
That's Manifest.
They are nice, man. I remember those shorts, but I think I might have to get myself a pair of those when I do jump on stage, whenever that time may be. I don't know. Might drop some hints. But while we're talking about Manifest, perfect opportunity to talk about the best board short company in the game. Manifest. Ryan Terry, three-time Mr. Olympia champion, rocked them at prejudging, and those shorts absolutely sold out within minutes after he rocked them, and for good reason. The quality, the build, the look of them, like everything's. What Alex and Dorian have done at Manifest is absolutely amazing. And this is the reason why athletes around the world are rocking those shorts, because just purely because of how good they are. And if you want to cop a pair of them, make sure to use our discount code, which is in the description. And get yourself a pair of shorts now that the season's almost here.
Damn right.
Guys, I'm going to move on to our next topic, unless you want to interrupt me and continue talking about Benquil, which I'm more than happy to do. But 3, 2, 1, let's go into the next breaking news for the men's physique division. Remember, the focus right now, Horde, is the Arnold Classic. That's the next biggest show in the men's physique division. This is the #1 division in all of bodybuilding in terms of growth, in terms of just the appeal to businesses, to people, to everyone in the world. You want to compete in bodybuilding, it's going to be men's physique. That's why we love this sport so much. We love this. This is Vitor Chavez, a man who we've dropped an interview on a few weeks back. Make sure you go check that out. It was a wonderful interview, an amazing interview. Earlier today, I'm looking for updates. We talked about this stuff last week. Check the story out. We do have a new update of a guy who can, again, kind of like a Benquil, can shock the world. He has a physique just like that. 5 weeks out, he says, tags the Arnold Sports, tags his coach cuts. He's not posting anything, but he's putting it in his story, and he's firing shots, and he knows other Olympians. The one thing I've noticed is the people that are in this guy's story the most are the Benquils, and all the other guys, believe it or not, they watch this. They want to know what their competition is doing. I'll throw it over to the Gaffa first. What do you think of Vitor's shape 5 weeks out in his story?
So, Hart, men's physique, 86 shows, pro shows this year, the most out of any division in all of bodybuilding. Bikini is second, I think, at 82. Men's physique is where you want to be because you've got the body type, that beach body that looks great in board shorts. So when you're out on vacation, like you're in Los Cabos, like me, you feel good, you take your shirt off, you look amazing, and you look natural, you look healthy. You walk into a boardroom, you've got a suit on, your chest is pronounced, your shoulders are popping, they're capped. Everyone is like, wow, how do I get to be this guy? And you make a statement without even having to say anything. You let people know that you're focused, you're disciplined, you're here to handle business, and you're relentless. And the probability of someone being able to outwork you is slim to none. That's what you say when you are in men's physique as a CEO, as a director, as a manager, as, anybody. You could be, new to intern. That's what this type of statement you're making. Vitor Chavez, our brother, who was on the show with us and gave a phenomenal interview. Thank you for pointing that out. Family man, loves his kids. He is such a great guy, so humble, but he is another shark. Look at his shoulders. His shoulders, that's what you call cap. His shoulders incredible. If anybody, even more than Benquil, I think that Vitor could be that dark horse because he's been so close. He's been, third, fourth before in shows and whatnot on the big shows, on the big stage. So I can actually see Vitor, especially now that he's brought up the back, really hitting on the day of the show because that's all you have to do. You just have to peak on that day. I can see he and Cuts just dialing his physique in and coming with something we haven't seen. Already his abs look better than they've ever looked. Already his obliques look better than they've ever looked at this time, 5 weeks out. His arms still streamlined right into the shoulders. His shoulders look even more pronounced than they normally have. His chest is full, top to bottom. Vitor just has such a beautiful shape, that V taper, wide in the shoulders, going in, and now he's got lower lats. He didn't really have lower lats before. He had a nice upper lats, and he had nice width and everything. And when he does that what is it called, the Roman pose or whatever, with the one bicep up that he does, and that transition. I mean, he's always had that lat kind of pronounced when it wraps around, but now it just is so much bigger. Looks like a wombat when he does it. He looks like he's got wombat wings connected to his hip. You know what I mean? That's how
I'm going to interrupt you, brother, because you just coined something. I don't think you even realized it. You said
wombat lats.
Wombat lats. You said Vitor V taper Chavez.
Vitor V taper Chavez. Let's
Fire.
go.
Double V.
Double V. Hey, VVS almost. VVC.
VVC.
So VVC. You need those VVCs. Yeah. I mean, I love this guy, man. Again, great guy. Phil, what do you reckon?
I've always been a massive fan of Vitor's shape, his structure. Yeah, I agree. He never had the lower lats, but from a silhouette point of view, I actually like how it's really small in the waist, and then you just see bang when his lats come around, and then obviously bang when the delts. If you were to play this one hard for me, just look how I don't know. There's just something really special about this look. It's different to let's say, I'm not going to say the top athletes because he's one of the top athletes, but someone like your Brandon, someone like, Ryan's got something similar when he hits that Superman pose. But I just really like that silhouette. Can you beat it? If you were walking on the beach and you had a look like that, would you not want to look like it? Yes or no?
Bro. Oh my God. If you stepped out on the beach looking like him, I mean, you got to go to one of those beaches where they don't mind topless bathing, because you're going to get thrown those tops walking around like this. The ladies are going to just start throwing their tops at you at this point.
You talk about the nude beaches.
The nude beaches, yeah. The Vitor V-taper body, you walk out with that and just prepare to get those tops thrown at you.
Yeah. No, but I like I said, I really love the structure of his physique. What I don't love is the fact that he hasn't been training at that old school gym again. Where's he been? I don't know if you guys remember a couple of weeks back, he was training at this old grungy bodybuilder style gym with the bandana on. Now he's gone to more of a commercial big box gym. Vitor, we want you back at that old school gym, bro. That's where the gains are made. That's where well, maybe it isn't, but being the gym bro that I am, being the meatheads, like you can't beat those metal plates clanking on the barbell. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Aleem. I think he could be one of the dark horses in this one. I mean, you can't write him off. I mean, he's been a top 10 Olympian for years now, and up against some of the best in the world at this show. So who knows? He could sneak up behind everyone and just, like you've said in previous episodes, just chokehold them from behind, and who knows? Bump a little bit higher in that placing.
I agree with you, boys. We love Vitor as a person, family man, kind of like the Brazilian Ryan Terry, behind the scenes, what he does for his community, his rise, his family, how he treats his family, the dad he is. And then I couldn't agree more, Liam. I couldn't agree more, Phil. This is a guy just like Benquil, where I think he's going to shock a lot of people. There's not enough people talking about Vitor Chavez, and this is a guy that doesn't talk smack, kind of stays in the shadows, just puts his head down, and he works with his coach Cuts, and it's going to be a good one. It is going to be a good one. Vitor Chavez hoard 5 weeks out of the Arnold Classic.
Oof.
Now, this is what I wanted to see. Avomp found this beautiful highlight of our boy, Tron Kwong Nam, the Polish-Vietnamese 2025 Arnold Classic amateur winner. As we all know, that person gets an invite to next year's Arnold Classic Open with the men's physique division. And the biggest thing that I could is just ringing in my head, Avomp, is when you said, look how much size he put on compared to last year, compared to what we're seeing now. And although this guy may more than likely not be in that top 5, we cannot deny the amount of progress that has been made. I'll throw it to you first, Avomp. Talk to me about your boy.
Yeah, I was thinking about him the other day. I'm like, we haven't seen anything from this guy. Like, where's he been hiding? Why haven't we seen any updates? And then it was like the men's physique guides were speaking to me, and they're like, Phil, go check out Tran's Instagram page. And I didn't. Bang. The latest physique update. The guy is absolutely, like, to your point, Hart, he's put on so much size in the last 12 months. Obviously, winning his pro card and getting an automatic qualification to this year's Arnold Classic. But just look how different that physique looks. Like, his arms are a lot bigger. The shoulder to waist ratio is insane. He's definitely got those. I mean, I feel like the Americans have a style of physique, but the Asians also have a style of physique. I don't know. I've said it before. This guy looks like a little Jovan Sagabayan, and now that he's dialing things in a little bit more, he's looking even more like him, which is nuts. But yeah, he's like, to your point, Hart, I don't think I can see him cracking the top 5, but he should be super proud. I mean, I'm not going to write him off, that's for sure. I don't want to feel like I've just completely disregarded this guy, but he should be incredibly proud of the amount of progress he has made in the last 12 months to even just be able to step on that stage with some of the best in the world. The beauty about this show, and a lot of pros, once they do get their pro card, will maybe never have the opportunity to be compared against some of the best in the world. One of this guy's first ever pro shows, he's going to be up against a handful of top 10 Olympians, being compared to some of the best, Brandon Hendrickson, Andre Diu, Vitor Chavez, E-Man, Benquil. This guy's going to have the opportunity to stand toe-to-toe with these guys. And then, obviously, after the show, get those photos, see what he needs to improve on, see what he needs to work on, so that when he does jump on stage with these guys again, he's going to be like a force to be reckoned with. What do you reckon, Ellie?
Man, you absolutely said it all right there. The only thing that I would add to that is 8 is the number. 8 abs. Okay. This guy's got an 8-pack. Like, look at that. He's got an 8-pack. His shoulders are even more pronounced. They're even more capped than they were last year at the Arnold. He's filled in the chest beautifully. Like, one of the things we said maybe a month ago or so when we were talking about him, maybe 3 weeks ago, that chest really needed to like fill in more because it kind of had that concave look as it panned in. So the outer portion of his pectorals were really full, but right there. So, good chest, you see it coming up, but I mean, he almost looks like a totally different person right now. His shoulders are way more capped. And granted, he's got a pump right now. He's closer to the show. He's more dialed in. He's fuller. Probably, on some really good some really good gear. He's looking incredible. His shoulders, the chest, the striations, the lines, the details. He poses really well. I mean, the guy does not pose like an amateur. He poses like a pro. And wow, everything Phil said coupled. I'm excited to see what he brings. I can't wait for us to talk to him here in the next week or so.
Hey, Hart, can you do me a favor on that last check-in photo? Can you zoom into his lower abs? Is his lower abs split into two?
Almost. Look at that. It's like right there. Look at that. Maybe
you mean, like right here?
Yeah.
Look at that. One,
that could
two,
be the start
three,
of a 10-pack. 1,
he almost
2,
has a 10-pack, bro.
4, 5.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, let's see what happens on stage, huh?
Man.
Good eyeball. Great eyeballs.
Crazy.
Wow.
Whoa. Mini Joven Segaban, Tron, looking absolutely nuts. And are we interviewing our boy soon?
Yeah, like in the next week.
Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
We're going to be interviewing a guy who won the Arnold Classic Amateur last year in the men's physique division, competing at this year's Arnold Classic. This is big time. Stay tuned for that interview. You heard Avon. 5 weeks out is Namsio. We got about 3-4 more topics to go. We're super pumped. Stick with us, boys, because we just interviewed another banger. Paul Gustav out of France, but what is he? What's his background? I mean, break into Paul for us.
First of all, bonjour, mon frère. You know I got to say that whenever we talk about Paul Gustav. That's our boy. Like Paul Gustav. Wow, what a great guy. So he's Cambodian and French. So his family's from Cambodia. He was born in France. Notice how he's moving that back foot now, changing his posing a little bit. We spoke about the posing. You'll hear that in the interview. He's going to be easily one of the top 3 backs up there on the stage. He's just got that Emmanuel Hunter, that Emax back, the type of back that if you have a projector at the house and you got the kids over, you throw the popcorn in the microwave, you get your jujubes, you get your chocolate Hershey's or whatever, you get your drink, and you just project it on his back because you're literally going to watch the movie. That's how wide of a back, a movie screen back that this guy has. In addition to that, super humble guy. Man, wait until you guys hear about him. Love his, again, another guy who's relentless, who's focused on his pursuit into the Arnold. He's going in believing that he's going to win. He believes in his heart that he's going to shock the world like he shocked the world at the Romania Pro, coming in 3rd, only behind Andre Diu and Emil Walker. He beat Mario Fialho. I mean, bros, come on. What are we talking about? This guy is not to be slept on. So really excited about him, man. Really excited for you guys to hear the interview. And just if you want to root for that Rocky Balboa, if you want to root for that person who's that underdog that is just going unnoticed and comes out of the workworks, this is definitely one of those athletes. There's a couple of them going into the Arnold Classic, but this is definitely one of those athletes that, man, he wins, everybody's going to be happy because he's just a great human being. Really hard struggle, really hard life, and it's great to see where he's come. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I was literally about to say the same thing. This guy's story is incredible. Like from where he came from to where he is now, the battles, the struggles that this guy needed to overcome to get to the Olympia stage, to get to the Arnold Classic stage is something special. So when we drop that interview, guys, stay tuned because it is a great one and you don't want to miss it. But yeah, this guy has, in a way, like he's kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, he took a period of time off. I mean, he got his pro card in 2024. He then had one of the best rookie seasons that I've ever seen. He took out first place at the Europa Pro. He won the Poland show. He then qualified for his first ever Olympia. Within the first 12 months of him getting that pro card, he won the Poland show. He came 3rd, like you said, Aleem, at the Romania Muscle Fest. So this guy has quite an impressive resume for someone who's just 12 months into his pro career. Now, like you said, the guy is relentless. The guy is driven. The guy does believe he can win. And you need that. If you're an athlete, if you want to be the best in the world, you need to have that mentality. You need to believe that you're going to win every single show that you jump on, every single stage that you jump on, because if you're not, then you've really lost the battle before you ever went into war. So
facts.
This guy has the mentality. You can just through the interview alone, just by talking to him, you can just tell how badly he wants this, and how badly he wants to make a statement on that pro stage. And based on what we're seeing, this guy will make a statement. He will be a presence. He's got he will have one of the biggest backs on that stage, that's for sure. So especially when this guy turns to the curtains, guys, be ready, because you're not going to know what hits you when those lats flare out. And like I said, when he faces the curtains. Hart, what do you reckon?
I got a question for you, Phil. In my humble opinion, top 3 backs on that stage in no particular order are going to be Manuel Hunter, going to be Paul Gustav, and I truly believe it's going to be Andre Dayu. It's going to be those top 3 for the best backs at the Arnold Classic. Everyone wants the best back. Brandon Hendrickson wants to have the best back. It's the one thing that he needs to work on. And Paul Gustav, his back's going to be top 3. Emmanuel's going to be top 3. Dayu's going to be top 3. Phil, Naselli, Avomp, Boomerang. Who's going to have the best back on the Arnold Classic stage?
Who's going to have the best back on the Arnold Classic stage? In my opinion, I still think it's E-Man. There's that in my eyes. I can't deny that. Like, the guy's got every bit of detail on that back. He's got the mass. He's got the symmetry. He knows how to present it when he faces the curtains. In my humble opinion, I'm gonna say E-Man. Aleem, what do you reckon?
We didn't throw Benquil in there, but I'm gonna say
good catch. Good catch though. He could be in there.
Yeah, he could be in there for sure.
I think
a little bit more time. Yeah. On this level, I believe that E-Man squeaks it out because of the polish and the posing. I just think that E-Man, you're not just looking at the back as, oh, here's the back. It's a still picture. It's a static picture. Let me look at the detail, the details, the thickness, this and a third. It's a moving person with stage presence and has to be polished and really pop the day of in that moment. And there's very few who do it better than E-Man when it comes to presenting his back. He just has this fluidity about him. The arms are angled now at the right place. They don't look like they're going straight across. He knows how to flex, but not bring his shoulders all the way back so that it winds up canceling out the look that you're trying to actually give. Like you see some people when they go into a back pose and they want to squeeze so hard that they actually reduce the size of their back. Their back goes from, being pretty wide to being narrower because they're squeezing back so much, trying to bring out the detail. He's able to keep his back wide and yet still contract the muscles in the back all the way from, the Christmas tree and lower lats all the way up throughout the entire pose and hold it. So I do think that E-Man gets it in this show because I think it's just new for, it's an experience thing. I just think that it's a new experience for Paul Gustav right now. But bros, I mean, if the judges don't put these two next to each other and we get an opportunity to see their two backs next to each other and throw Andre Dayu and you throw Benquil in there and you just see like the 4 of them standing there with their backs next to, man, they're doing everybody a disservice in my opinion.
Aleem, let me just ask you what he's pretty much still a rookie. He's had only his first season. What first year pro are we talking about that is going to be compared to Emmanuel Hunter, who has like one of the best backs in the league? Like what?
Facts.
Bro, the only other person you could mention would be, and Emmanuel Hunter wasn't popping like that back then, would have been Ebanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the only other person I can think of right now who's had such a stellar first year run where you could literally say, damn, like this guy is coming. And if you don't notice that this guy is not playing games, I mean, again, look at his track record. If he had more sponsors, if he had more money, he'd do more. That's the only thing that's holding him back is 2 things. One is time and funds.
We're talking about Paul Horde. We're talking about Paul, this guy on the screen.
Paul Gustav, exactly. You give this guy great sponsorship, he's out of here because he's doing more shows. He's getting more experience. He's even more locked in then. You give him more time, he's developing even more. So it's just like, I just love the combination of this guy. If he lived here in the States, he'd probably be out of here already. He probably would be as big, if not bigger than E-Banks the first year,
And I was actually in complete awe with how how much of a workhorse this guy is. This guy's working multiple jobs. I wasn't aware that this guy is a tennis coach. Like, imagine being up against this monster on the other side of the court. Like, can you imagine how much power this guy would generate on a forehand or a backhand? Sure, I don't want to be caught on the other side of that net, that's for sure. But yeah, what I want to kind of just touch on, Aleem, is what you're saying about the back pose. Now, a lot of people, if they're new to the sport or maybe new to the division, they always think the bigger the back, you're guaranteed to win from the rear, and that's not the case at all. It all comes down to the flow, the symmetry, the density, the detailing, the works. And one of the most common faults that I see a lot of amateurs and sometimes even pros do is how wide they spread their arms when they hit the back or the back pose, where their arms are almost out here. Now, and I know they do that because they think width is the determining factor with that shot. What you actually do when you hit a back shot with your arms out wide is a disservice, because all of a sudden you can't contract the muscles the way they need to be. Your lats now look smaller because they're so spread out. So you need to find that fine line between having them close and having them too far, where you're able to actually present the back the way that it needs to be presented. The judges can see the detail, but you've got that fine line between width and detail, I should say. So just a little tip for everyone out there.
Phil, if you look at when, just the way the human anatomy works, right? The higher you put your arms, the more your lat disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to reach all the way up, your lat is only going to be so wide, right? Because it's got to stretch, right? So when it's stretching, because your arms are up so high, it starts to narrow in so that you can reach something. Like if you were to try to get a cookie from the top of the cookie jar on top of your fridge or something, right? And you're short or whatever, like your lats are going to naturally just start to fade out and stretch, because they need to elongate in order for you to execute that movement. So if you're posing on stage and you have your arms that high, where like basically your elbow is running straight across with your shoulder, way too high. Like you see Paul right here, how his arms are at a 45-degree angle. That's perfect. Not only do you allow your lats to stay thick and full, but also you create less distance between the lats and the arms, so there's less space there, and judges are looking at that space. When they sit back, they go, man, how much space is between the lats and the arms? Oh, you put your arms all the way up. There's a lot of space. There's nothing but space. So like we have to deduct. Now you better have the most, incredible genetic back for us to give you credit, or you better hope that everybody on stage does the same thing and doesn't have, all the other bells and whistles that your back has with the detail, the thickness and all that, and how you present it, how you get into the pose. That's the only way you win there. You put someone who maybe has not as much thickness, maybe they have great conditioning, detail, and you naturally have a wider and thicker back, but you put your arms all the way straight up and they put theirs angled, they're probably going to look, and everything else is pretty much equal, they're probably going to beat you.
Mm.
It's just the presentation looks better, looks fuller, there's less space, you can see it better. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's all. What do you think?
Yeah. And to that, like, bodybuilding is it's a game of muscle. Yes, it's a game of conditioning. Yes, it's a game of genetics, but it's also a game of illusions. It's how do you showcase your strengths and hide your flaws. Now, if you're adding more flaws to a flaw, you're doing yourself again a disservice. It's all about being smarter with your posing. How do you show the judges the best package on that stage while hiding any sort of faults or flaws that you may have? Hart, what do you reckon?
I love it. I reckon you guys are spot on, and I think the audience has learned a lot from the dialogue that's happening. So grateful for both of you boys. Let's move on. We got about 3 more topics to cover. We're going to send it over to Japan. The most famous men's physique pro out of Japan is giving us an off-season physique update. This is a multi-time Olympian, Shun Kaneko, and his instructions by the league to get better, to be, considered one of the best in the world, to get in that top 15, is to grow. Keep the shape, keep the symmetry, keep the aesthetic, Shun, but let's get bigger. I'll throw it over to Avon first. What are you thinking about Shun? He says 200 pounds. Shun says, I'm adding size and definition, and he's tagging his coach, Cuts. How's he looking?
He's looking good. He's looking meaty, that's for sure. He's looking nice and big, juicy.
Pause.
That's pause.
That's a pause one.
That's a sushi pump if I ever seen one. That's for sure. This guy looks good. I mean, there's a reason why he's the most famous men's physique athlete in Japan. He's got the look, he's got the flow, he's got the structure. You know, he's got a big YouTube channel as well. He's got a lot of fans behind him. He's got his own gym. Yeah, I mean, this guy's impressive. What I hope happens though is this guy can kind of pull some strings in Japan, because I'm sure you guys know, but maybe some people around the world don't know. The IFBB actually pulled all their shows from Japan. Now, this is going to make it extremely hard for athletes just like Shun and other Asian athletes, because now they're going to need to travel further for these shows. So hopefully Shun can be a voice of reason, maybe put his input in being one of the best men's physique athletes in the country to hopefully get some shows back in Japan, because the country will definitely miss it. But it's not about that. It's about Shun. Yeah, this guy's going to look impressive. I mean, I'm glad to see this, because I know towards the tail end of his 2025 season, you kind of tell the body was beaten up. The body was deflated from what we saw in, Hawaii, and then we saw it again. He actually pulled out of the Asian Championship last minute, I feel like, because his body was just so run down with such a long season that he had. So it's good to see that he's taking a bit of time off. The body looks like it's come back to life, looks nice and fresh. He looks nice and fresh. And he's ready to rock and roll in 2026. Aleem, over to you, mate.
Shun Kaneko, man. Two things. One is, he better be in Japan when my family and I go out there this summer. He already said that he might be there. He might be at a show. Shun, I'm counting on you, man. Be there. We want to catch up. Let's go vibe out. Let's go eat some sushi. And I'm prepared to be swamped by your fans, going in and coming out of your house. So I'm looking forward to that. I know that a lot of them hang out in front of his house, waiting for him to come out. He's a rock star in Japan. He's a superstar. He's like the Beatles in Japan, this guy. His body looks, to your point, Phil, looks a lot fresher than it did. Remember, guys, not only did we interview Shun Kaneko, and wow, what a story, guitarist, the whole nine, family guy, he's awesome. But he had mentioned, hey, my body's just going through it right now. And I've just put it through a hell of a lot of stress. He wants to grow. He's taken time off. He and Cuts decided, not to do that Asian Pro. It was just the best move, in my opinion, because although he felt like he had an obligation to the fans, first and foremost, you have an obligation to your health, and you have an obligation to your body and to yourself and your mental state. And it's great that he took that time off, in my humble opinion. Couple of things I like to see from Shun. We already mentioned in previous reels that we've done of Shun that he's got one of the most beautiful flows to his physique in men's physique. Out of all of men's physique, he's just got that look. There's a couple of guys, Alex Rogers is up there also, that just when you see their look and their physique, it just looks beautiful to look at. The silhouette looks beautiful. And I really, really, really enjoy Shun's look. I hope that he brings those hands when he does those Superman poses. I hope he brings his hands a little bit lower on the hip, because I don't think that it does him service to have it so high. He's done that in the past at shows. And, I think that they should be lower on the hip, and he should be pressing his thumbs, digging his thumbs into the back of his glutes in order to make his lats pop more in that pose, in my humble opinion. But I mean, he's a juggernaut. He's great. Shun, again, bro, when I'm out there, you better be there, because we're working out. The families are going to be together hanging. You're going to teach me some Japanese, and we're going to get flocked. And I'm looking forward to I want to experience all of that. So let's do this. Oh, second thing, imagine Shun brings the IFBB back to Japan. Wouldn't that be interesting for the men's physique show to be out there, Hart? What do you think about that?
Yeah, we need to get that lined up. If there's a will, there's a way, and Shun has that community out there, and I'm sure us together can pull some strings to get us out there. I know the Horde would appreciate it, and the wonderful Japanese people and fans of the sport, fans of Shun, would greatly appreciate it.
I was gonna say, speaking of fresh though, I know I said his body's fresh, but how fresh is his skin looking? This guy looks like he's got some of the smoothest skin I've ever seen. What do you reckon?
His skin looks good. I hope that he's using what I used after coming out from
Use this?
the ocean.
This is what you
This right
use?
here. Talking about Kippy,
That's the one.
bro. This
We're all looking
this
clear.
stuff is so good. I use this 2-3 times a day, easy. Like if it's so smooth to put on, your face feels so good. Why would you not use this?
I love the
Physique.
smell too. You know, like when I
Yes.
put something on my face, I don't want it to smell chemically. Like whatever scent, whatever natural ingredient they put in here, when I put it on my face, it's almost like I'm at the spa. It's like it smells good. I know it's cleaning my face. I'm like, man, this is the shit.
True story. Today, when we came back from seeing the whales, my beard, being in the sun and sweating and all that stuff, my face, my wife said, "Oh, your face smells and everything." And I just came out the shower, getting ready for the show. She's like, "Your face." I said, "Well, I haven't used Kippy yet." And then I put it on. I was like, "Smell it now." She's like, "Oh, you smell perfect now." Gave me a big sloppy kiss. But anyway, you guys don't need to know all that.
No, we do. Trust me.
Absolutely, we do.
We do. Trust me. I'm edging under this table. Pause. Okay, let's move on, boys. We got 2 more topics, and we're going to end the men's physique show off the stage. Let's keep this energy high. Bhuwan Chauhan out of India is revolutionizing gym culture and gyms in India. And we're going to make a reel out of this. So I need some good talking points out of you, Avomp, and out of you, the Gaffa. Recent update just a day ago. Bhuwan Chauhan, 10 months into building the Physique Ascension Club, now stands tall, he says, as the mecca of the Indian fitness industry. Listen, I want to move to Bali. I want to move to Thailand in March, but Bhuwan's making me think I may need to move to India, and it's because of this gym. Avomp, what do you think? You're looking at footage of this. Looks like it should be in like downtown LA, in London, in Dubai. This is nuts. What is he doing?
This is one of the nicest gyms I've ever seen. That's for sure. It kind of gives me a combination of a gym in Bali or a gym in Asia with something like Guzman's Alpha Land, over there.
Yes, I love that.
It kind of gives me a fusion between that and like an Obsidian over there in Bali. This is going to be massive for India because we know that the Indian community, a lot of the Indian community, or a lot of our fans, that's for sure, come out of India. The guys love bodybuilding with a passion. And to have a facility just like this where you've got, your good quality, some of the best kit in the world. Like I saw your pendulum squat. Not a lot of gyms have something as simple as a pendulum squat. So for Bhuwan to invest so much time, money, effort, this guy's traveled around the world. I'm certain that this guy's trained at some of the best gyms around the world, whether it be in Dubai, whether it be in America, whether it be in Europe. This guy, he's a smart guy, and he would have taken little bits of everything and put it into his own sort of creation. And I'm not sure whereabouts in India this is, but the Men's Physique Show definitely needs to make a trip there because, number one, we'll get some fucking... Oh, damn, I shouldn't have sworn. Can we beep that out?
Say it, bro. It's loud and proud.
Yeah, say it. It's all good.
I don't know
Fucking,
what I don't know what YouTube allows these days. That's the problem. But what I was going to say is,
For real.
we're talking about one topic and we get notified about another, which is strange. But anyway, what I was going to say was, now I forgot what I was going to say.
Well,
forget it. Aleem, take over.
I agree 100% with you.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Anything that's worth it is going to take time. And he's been at this now for 10 months. To have that level of focus, consistency, the challenges that they've probably experienced being out there, and they build stuff fast in India. So let's not play this probably could have been built in a month, but paying attention to the detail, making sure that the right equipment comes in, being so particular and meticulous like he is when it comes to his physique is why this will be the premier gym in India, hands down. And I'm not just saying that because he's going to be on our show in the next 2 weeks. I'm not just saying that because he's like a superstar in India. He is like like Shun Kaneko is in Japan, Bhuwan is in India. Like when he goes outside, people recognize him. It's so wild to see the attraction and the connection with fans around the world with athletes outside of America. It's such a unique experience. And I do hope that all American athletes go and experience that outside of America because you see how fans really treat you. I think that the American fans are going to get there again one day, but it's just a different vibe. Like they really, really live, bleed, and focus on men's physique and other divisions, all obviously, but certainly men's physique in other parts outside of America for sure. But love his gym. To your point, Phil, Christian Guzman, Alpha Land. It's that kind of vibe. The lighting looks incredible. His attention to the specific types of equipment that he's got there. We got to go out there, boys. Like we literally got to be out there. Motivation, words all around the gym. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
He's got like.
Can you get better?
Listen.
Can you get better? I don't know what it is, but dark gyms with that sort of white light. I don't know. There's something about it, which, I mean, number one, it screams luxury, but can you imagine the photos that you can get out of this gym? Imagine the content.
Yeah.
Imagine all the content creators. Now, I'm not sure how he wants to go about this gym, because I know there are gyms out there that are like, no, we don't want any content creators here, which I think personally, it's silly, because the amount of free marketing that you'd get in a gym like this is insane.
Crazy.
But yeah, this could be a hub for fitness influencers. This could be a hub for, some of the best athletes in the world. Imagine doing an IFBB pro show in India, and this is the gym that you're training at. Imagine the post-show photos you'll get, the pre-show content you'd be able to get. So yeah, this is going to tick a lot of boxes, not only for athletes, but just for your normal gym goers, for your fans, the works.
Did you boys ever watch? Did you boys ever watch C-Bum when he was at the Raw gym, that exclusive gym? Like Nick Walker would sometimes work out there. It had this kind of look, this dark feel to it with the white lighting and everything. Just really great for content. Did you guys ever check that out?
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it. It's very similar to this.
This gives me that vibe. Yeah, gives me that vibe, man. Like, you're just going to get so much good quality from this. And what gyms, boys, don't want content creators in their gym? Like, just shoot yourself in the foot. Like, why would you not have content creators marketing your gym?
Agreed.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
Well, we've seen Hart hitting the gym, and he's getting his camera set up, getting his Instagram reels and photos.
You see his
and
shoulders,
stories, mate. Hart, what would you do?
Have you seen Hart's shoulders?
Mate, he's looking crazy. Hart, what would you do in a gym like this? You'd go crazy in here.
You don't want to know what
I don't want to know
like this. But I will say the thing that stands out to me the most isn't even the gym. It's not the equipment. It's not because Bhuwan's doing it. I mean, I love Bhuwan. Bhuwan, I love you. It's, bro, this is not only is it the best, biggest, most luxurious gym in India and probably rivals every other big luxurious gym in the entire world, but think of this. I'm gonna say something, and just how does this make you feel? And do you want to be a part of it? Physique Ascension Club. That is the dopest gym name ever. That is literally saying, let's transcend your physique to the next level. I mean, that is like, bro, that's the best name ever.
I agree.
Yeah.
That name is hitting.
Physique Ascension Club, yeah. Because you could do so much with that. Like, think about it. Like, with gyms, the biggest thing, it's not a gym without a community, right? If without your gym community, it's just four walls with machines in there. Imagine being part of the Physique Ascension Club. Everyone will feel included. You'd be able to do seminars. You'd be able to do run clubs. Are run clubs a thing in the States? Do you guys do that?
Run clubs?
Yeah. Like, imagine that. Imagine having 10 runners just running the streets of India with their Physique Ascension Club top. Like, it's such a cool name. I like this. What are you looking up here?
Look at this. A character ascension, especially in anime, a character rising to a higher state of existence, often becoming a god, achieving immortality, or gaining immense divine power. Dude, Bhuwan knows what he's doing.
He knows.
Come on,
guys.
But that's his character, though. And I'm looking forward to really, going and delving deep into who he is as a person, as we do on the show, to understand how he came up with this name, why he came up with this name, and just not only that, but what is his vision now? Now that this is pretty much done, where do you want to take this, and what's your next step? We can't. Hey, fans, you got questions for Bhuwan? Send it to us via Instagram. Put them in the comment section of YouTube here, and ask your questions. We want to ask him some really solid questions. We're going to pick the best questions that you guys put out there, and we're going to ask him some questions. So don't forget to do that. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe. Click the notification bell. Let's go.
Love you, Bhuwan. Fly us out there, bro, and then so we can train there because we love you. Let's talk about one last guy. Clarence McSpadden, aka Samurai Shreds, who we got to do another interview with, has given us an update. He's a little bit more than a few weeks out from, I guess he's like 2-3 weeks plus the Arnold Classic out. So what, about 7-8 weeks out of the Arnold Classic United Kingdom, giving us a physique update. And I believe, Aleem, he exclusively sent this to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is hasn't been seen yet. This is basically 7-8 weeks, 7.5 weeks out, bro. His proportions are looking crazy. Like the waist is so small. He's one of the best posers. We all know that. Conditioning is never going to be a problem for Samurai. You can't have the name Samurai Shreds and not have top-notch conditioning. Some of the best conditioning in all of men's physique, without a shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt. And man, he had that. Unfortunately, he was in a car accident that kind of derailed him for a little bit. He would have done more shows, but he was in that bad car accident. Again, another athlete that's coached by Cuts. And man, I would suggest him getting some stem cells, obviously, from the doc, Center of Wellness and Pain Care, to help with his back and everything. That would definitely help him. But he is just going in with the workout, with the plan. He's someone who works out at Alpha Land. He's one of the coaches there. Look how striated his lower back is, that Christmas tree. You could get Christmas balls and hang them on the sides of this. Look at that, right? You need presents around that thing. Like that's a Christmas tree. And he's like 7-8 weeks out. He's almost 2 months out from the Arnold UK. He came in 4th, if you guys remember, in his last Arnold appearance. And no one even expected him. They thought he was going to be like 10th or something. This guy came in 4th. So, again, just one of those athletes that don't snooze, don't sleep. His proportions look crazy right now. The shoulder to waist ratio is going bananas. It's almost cartoon-like. And we also know that he trains legs. So he's one of those athletes that has always trained legs. He started off as a classic physique guy and then transitioned into men's physique. So he was always about the leg gains and, really putting in that time and that work. Love to see this, man. Great update. Glad you sent it, brother. Looks great. What do you think, Phil, when you saw Clarence?
Mate, agreed with what you're saying. This guy is looking like he's looking damn good for what do we say? 5-8 weeks out, 7 weeks out,
7-8 weeks, 7.5.
7-8 weeks out. And I mean, what a way to come back, because I think this is his first show that he's done since the accident. So to be able to do the Arnold Classic, first show back, look this good. Like, I remember, and I've always believed it, and I think Ali Bilal kind of said this as well. It's like you basically want to be ready 4 weeks out of the show. And if this is anything to go by, I think Samurai Shreds, Clarence is going to be ready 4 weeks out from that show. And at least at that point, you can kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit, not fully take the foot off the gas, but start to load up if he needs to, tweak, play around with some carbs, do a mock peak week or something like that so you can kind of see what his physique looks like. But to your point, Aleem, you can't be called Samurai Shreds without being able to get in shape. And if this is anything to go by, this guy is going to be super conditioned, thick skin conditioned when the Arnold Classic UK comes around.
Hart, you've been following him for a while now. I remember seeing you do posts, 4 or 5 years ago on Clarence and when he made it to the O a few times now, and you've posted. What was his Achilles heel, and what do you think, whatever that is, how do you think it looks right now with this post?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love Clarence, man. He's always been kind of like a big brother to me. Always has been a supporter of my work and covering the division. I'm going to start with all the good, and that's something that not a lot of guys have, and that's never being out of shape. This guy is always conditioned, 8 weeks out, and he's looking like this. Such a small waist, such beautiful posing. The symmetry is there. I love the chest. I love the shoulders, the flow. This is men's physique. When I think of men's physique, Clarence McSpadden comes up. As far as his Achilles heel, and something that he's been needing to bring up is the back, and more specifically, just really the density in the back. And we're 8 weeks out, and I know he's been going through a lot physically and mentally, and he's kind of rising out of the shadows. I like where he's at now. I think he has another 2 months to get even better, to continue adding as much tissue as possible back there. If he can continue to do that, I think he may shock some people at the Arnold Classic UK. I never ever, I've counted Clarence out a few times at shows, and I think he ended up winning the show. So I don't like to count Clarence out. This guy is another guy like B. Henny, like Benquil. That mentality is just next level. So we're rooting for you, Clarence, and we're excited, bro.
Bro, he said he's eating like 400 grams of rice per meal. Yeah. Like that's just like out of 5, 3 of them are like 400 grams of rice. He's 208 right now, clean. Love it.
Yeah.
It's my guy.
March 27th through 29th. So yeah, about 3-4 weeks after the normal Arnold Sports. Clarence McSpadden, can't wait to have you back on the show. Maybe we can get you before or after the Arnold boys. I think that would be phenomenal. But that wraps up an OTS, boys. That was phenomenal.
This was great. This was great.
Yeah, another great episode, boys. These are fun to do. I'm glad that we started doing OTS because gives us a chance, and even though we speak every single day, like to be able to dive into the shows and really go in a little bit more depth about the athletes and the competitions. And obviously, when the season starts to ramp up, it's going to be a lot more than the Arnold Classic. There's going to be multiple shows throughout the weekend that we can dissect, athletes that we're able to dissect, physique updates that we're able to dissect. And if you want to be part of that, guys, if you want to see everything that I just mentioned plus more, you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want you part of the horde. So if you haven't already, tap the subscribe button, tap the bell icon as well.
Subscribe
to see our episodes as soon as they go live. Follow us on Spotify. Make sure to take a screenshot of your screen, whether it be a TV screen, your computer screen, or your iPhone. Share that to your Instagram story. Make sure to tag the Men's Physique Show official, Aline Bolton, Hart McGrath, and Philip Naselli, and we'll be able to reshare that on our stories as well. That would be that would make so much. That would make. I was going to say make the world. That would make us the happiest men in the world. And other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, your morning, your evening. Hart, you got your finger up. You're going to say something?
Just to piggyback on what you're saying, we're talking about the horde. Just a few comments that you guys have been leaving over the past week, and it means the world to us.
Yeah.
From Ryan Shin 4731, he say these podcasts are awesome. You guys have a great dynamic. Appreciate the content. Ryan, we thank you so much.
Thanks, bro.
Another really nice comment. So Adrian Fernandez says, guys, I think you should be the announcers at the Mr. Olympia.
How do we make that happen? Where do we sign a petition?
How do we make this happen? More subscribers. We need more
we know a
subs.
couple of people at this point. I think after some of the interviews we've done and news that we've just broken this past week, we might know a couple of people. We'll see.
Last comment I'm just going to read off, and maybe we make this a thing. Just some awesome comments at the end of the show. DJ Ehut says, congratulations on 10,000 subscribers out of Canada. He says, thank you to Canada. We appreciate you guys.
And guys, keep that up. If you guys want us to see anything, if you guys have any positives, any feedback that you want us to kind of see, make sure to drop it in the comments. We look at every single comment, whether it be on our social media, Instagram, YouTube, the works. So, and we appreciate any feedback as well. So yeah, again, guys, thank you again for making it to the end of the episode. Enjoy the rest of the day, your night, your morning, whatever time it may be, and we'll catch you guys up. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.